Hi everyone, this is Darren with SimNation. Tonight is the WWPF Championship for the 2055 season, which will pit the Pittsburgh Steelers against the LA Rams. Um, Going to do a quick overview and then I'm going to take us straight into the game. Just kind of want to talk about how the two teams got here. So, for LA, they were the number 2 seed in the NFC. Pittsburgh, of course, was the number 1 seed. So they both had first round byes. LA knocked off Detroit, which was Superman 66. They won this game in the final minute. Of course, Goldman was the star of that game with 468 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, finding Trevino 5 times for 137 yards and a touchdown. Pittsburgh took on the CPU-led Jacksonville Jaguars. This one really wasn't a contest. Pittsburgh won it through a very balanced attack that saw Pierce throw for 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and then of course Lackey, who's one of the top running backs in the league, ran for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. Uh, what we saw in the conference championship was Barry, who is the LA coach, versus Invisible Witness, who's the Carolina coach. This is the battle of the top 2 seeds. Uh, and as you can see, Carolina was favored. This one was decided in the final seconds of the game, I think like the final two. Goldman again came up big with 540 yards and 6 touchdowns, finding Trevino again for 6 catches, 166 yards, as Barry goes to what is the third time the LA Rams have been in the championship game. They've never won a championship, so this will give Barry a chance to break that. Pittsburgh and Oakland, these two teams know each other very well. Peter was at Oakland, I'm at Pittsburgh. Um, Oakland did hand Pittsburgh its only loss of the season uh, during, I think, the second to last week of the season. And of course, Pittsburgh is trying to go to its fifth championship game, and they've won 3 of those, lost one. So Pittsburgh, as you can see, wins this one. A lot of this had to do with turnovers and great field position, which allowed Pittsburgh to punch it in. Johnson had one of his worst games with 2 interceptions. And then, of course, London played a lot of this game. So from a matchup perspective, these two teams are defense are both good at what the other one does well on offense. So, Barry and his LA Rams are one of the best scoring offenses. They are also one of the best passing offenses. On defense, they're one of the best rushing defenses. Conversely, Pittsburgh is one of the best rushing offenses, and they are one of the best defenses in the league, but specifically passing defense. Um, the keys of the game is Goldman has to be able to do his thing. If he continues to throw like he's been throwing, he has over 1,000 yards just in 2 games in the playoffs. LA has a good chance of winning. Look for him to find Dominic Lee or Lund or Trevino or Fable, who's their tight end. Those are really his 4 targets, and he uses them very effectively. Um, I won't be shocked if I see Barry mix in some rushing. Colwell has over 1,000 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. The other back to watch is Robertson, who has over 800 yards and he scored over 14 touchdowns. For Pittsburgh to win, they have to stop Goldman. And then they've got to get a good running game from Michael Lackey. If they can get Lackey going, it opens up Pierce throwing the ball, and then they should be in pretty good shape. But it'll all start with them being able to shut down Norris Goldman, the phenomenal quarterback out of Texas. So that's kind of what it is. As I mentioned before, LA has never won a championship. They've been in 23 playoffs games. The record is 17 and 23. They're 0 and 2 in the championship game. Pittsburgh's won 3 championships. They've been in 29 playoff games. They're 24 and 26. I'm sorry, they've been in 29 playoffs. They're 24 and 26 overall with a 3 and 1 record in the championship game. That one loss, of course, was to Carolina Invisible Witness. So with that, we're just going to get right into it. We'll sim the game. Uh, Now we'll watch it, and best of luck to you, Barry. This should be hopefully a close game, but I have a suspicion that LA is going to blow Pittsburgh out. So let's see how this plays out. We hit play. Probably gonna go make this a little faster because LA gets the start, so Pittsburgh will kick. Don't be surprised to see Clark kick the ball out of the end zone most of this game. He's one of the better kickers. So Goldman starts first. Quick throw to the outside to Trevino. He's tackled by Burke. 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 5. Goldman drops back again. Finds Lund this time. Lund on Mosley. That's not a good matchup. Lund runs for 27 yards. Gets it out for 27 yards. LA moving the ball really well. Colwell gets stopped for a short gain. So try again, and they're going to run the ball again. And Robertson this time gets started by Doherty. It's going to be really hard for them to run against Pittsburgh. But Colwell tries again, and he gets stopped for 3 yards. So it is 4th and 5, and they're going for it. Ballsy move, and it pays off as Trevino gets the first down for 29 yards. That was a really, wow. Throws the ball on 1st and goal. It's to Fable, but it's incomplete. May have to slow this down. Again, good time, and that's a touchdown. So on the first drive, they make a really big 4th down play, and it ends with Dominic Lee on an 8-yard touchdown pass from Norris Goldman. So now they'll kick it off, and Pittsburgh will get the ball. This one's through the back of the end zone. Bell is also one of those type of kickers who will kick it through the back of the end zone most of the time. So Lackey gets the ball, not much still, gets a yard before Lab brings him down. You'll probably see Lackey run the ball quite a bit, but again, Kraus stops him. So far, what Pittsburgh is good at is not happening. Penalty on that play. Hopefully it's a face mask. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Flores. Pittsburgh will have to punt. So 3 and out for Pittsburgh. And LA will get the ball. Let's see what they do. Are they going to continue to be hot? So he draws back. He's got lots of good time again. Pittsburgh can't get pressure on him. That's going to be a problem. Burke brings down Trevino. Pittsburgh loses Mosley. That's going to be a pretty big thing for them. 30-yard gain by Trevino, though. He's got time again. It's a short underpass to Fable for 5 yards, bring up like 2nd and 4. And they run the ball probably about 2 yards still. We'll bring up 3rd and 2. See if they run it again. They don't. But they have a wide open person for Fable, who gets down to the Pittsburgh 102-yard line. So definitely a very hot start for them, and that's a touchdown. So 14-0 LA right from the beginning. This one may be headed to a blowout. We'll see if Pittsburgh can stabilize on this drive. Looks like that one's returned by Burke. Burke gets it out to the 30. Pittsburgh needs to get something going here, otherwise this can get ugly really quick. Hand off to Lackey. He's pretty much stuffed again. Illegal block. So Pittsburgh now is a 1st and 20. They throw the ball, but Tolliver can't come down with it. 2nd and 20. Quick pass. Another incompletion. Pittsburgh's offense is just misfiring pretty badly, actually. Too many men on field. Good break for Pittsburgh. Makes it 3rd and 15. He gets it out, but it's going to be short. Timothy Dale's brought down by Alonzo Rhodes. And that's a 10-yard thing. Pittsburgh will have to punt again. So far, Pittsburgh is not doing anything on offense. LA is doing everything on offense. It's a run to the outside, stopped pretty early, but Pittsburgh is really acting like its own worst enemy at this point, as it's another penalty after what was a good stop. So Goldman drops back. Pittsburgh really needs to get something going. Incomplete to Colwell. Bring up 3rd and 9 on the LA 41. A little pressure there, but not enough. And he finds Lund underneath the Coggins. And that'll be a 10-yard gain and a 1st down. Good run hill by Colwell for 6 yards. We'll bring up 3rd and 4. We're 2:51 left in the first quarter. Another good run by Colwell. Um, Again, this offense is really humming right now. 7-yard gain. Pittsburgh's going to have to figure this out. Colwell goes again, gets 4 yards this time. And another quick rush. He'll get another 3 or 4 yards, which will bring up 3rd and 2. Goldman drops back, and it's picked off this time. Caleb Stein comes down with it. He was aiming for Robert Fable, the tight end. So Pittsburgh gets a little bit of a break. But so far, this offense hasn't shown that they can do anything. LA's just doing a good job of shutting down the run. Lackey doesn't really get anything on that run. They'll drop back. He throws the ball away because he's being pressured. It'll bring up a long 3rd down, and he overthrows Tolliver, who was wide open. So Pittsburgh has had 3 series and punted 3 times. This is a pretty good punt, though. This time around, 65-yard punt by Barnes. See if Pittsburgh can't get something going. That was regrettable after what was a good start. So Robertson gets 9 yards on the rush. Again, not much pressure and lots of wide open people. So incomplete this time, trying to find Trevino. Burke breaks it up. See if they can get them off the field, and they don't. So what's hurting with the Pittsburgh offense is the Pittsburgh defense is just staying on the field. So at the end of the first quarter, it's 14-0 LA. Quick run, quick stop by Adam Lyons, 4 yard. Bring up 2nd and 9. Again, not much pressure, and this time they get the sack. Button gets to Goldman. So decent start. That's a drop of 11. Bring up 3rd and 20 on LA 13. They need to get a stop here and get off the field, and they do. So Goldman completes it to Davis for 13 yards. He's brought down by Travis. His first punt of the day for LA. Good return, puts it back in LA territory from Flores. We'll see if Pittsburgh can manage to get something going. Lackey with a decent run though. First good run he's had today. Gets him 22 yards. Another run by Lackey, and he fumbles it. And he recovers. Tolliver recovers it, so they don't turn it over. But yet another penalty. This one is on Gillespie for a false start, so what would have been a 2nd and 5 now is a 2nd and 12. Good catch this time by Tolliver. I think that's enough for the first down. So Pittsburgh is driving. They're at the 10. Give it to Lackey. Lackey gets a pretty good run, but gets upended after 7 yards. Gets the ball again and goes in for the touchdown to make it 14-7. So good after the big sack by Pittsburgh. Good drive, and Lackey punches it in. They'll kick it off. Pittsburgh's offense is still kind of misfiring. Really good return here by LA. They take it out to the 35, I believe. And now Goldman hands it off to Colwell. Colwell is doing a pretty good job of running the ball, gets 6 yards. He has 32 yards on the day so far. Another quick run. He gets stopped by Doherty for a first down. And it's a face mask on Pittsburgh, so that will only add on to it. Another penalty. This time it's on Pittsburgh again by Whitfield. That's 63 yards of penalties already. Pittsburgh's not going to win if they keep doing that. Lund catches the ball this time and Coggett stops him after 15. So good completion there. Goldman is looking really good right now. He's got time, and incomplete to Trevino. He was looking for him in the end zone. He drops back. He's got time again. He's got a wide open man, and it's a touchdown to Dominic Clay. So it's now 21-7 LA. Good drive. again, Dominic Goldman's looking good. He does have the interception, but he also has a touchdown or two touchdowns. See if Pittsburgh can figure out how to get into this. This time Deal returns it, gets a pretty good one of 31 yards. See what Pittsburgh does here. They're going to run the ball. Not a great run, 2 yards. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping Lackey in front of them. Pierce is just not looking good at all. He's 2 of 7 for 23 yards, which is forcing Pittsburgh to have to run the ball. That goes to London this time for 4 yards. Pittsburgh will punt again. Another great punt. I mean, Barnes is actually helping them by getting them pushed back, but the defense still has to stop them. So Doherty stops Caldwell for 3 yards. Another good run here by Robertson, who gets a first down. You gotta like what LA's doing in this so far. You can say Pittsburgh's self-exploding with the penalties, but the reality is the LA offense is doing a good job on its own. So it'll be 2nd and 8. He drops back. He's got time again. He's got an open wide receiver on Trevino. Trevino gets away from Burke. Burke chases him down, but not after a long gain of 41 yards. Trevino, I think, has like over 105 yards now. Good. They did get a little bit of pressure there, but he tried to find Batista, broken up by Stein. Another penalty. Again on Whitfield. That's the 7th penalty for Pittsburgh in just the first half. They've already given up 68 yards of penalties. 3rd and 1. Need to definitely get a stop here, and they don't. So 1 yard gain by Robertson should give them the first down. Drops back. Again, Pittsburgh needs to get some pressure or get a turnover here. 2:09 left in the first half. It's been pretty much all LA at this point. Good stop by Owen Weatherford, who's the middle linebacker for a short gain. Bring up 3rd and 10 with 3rd and 39 left. If they can get a stop here, maybe they can get something, but of course they don't. And Fable makes a big gain before he's tackled by Whitfield, 22 yards. Put him in Pittsburgh's red zone. You have to think a touchdown here would pretty much hurt any chance of Pittsburgh coming back. So Pittsburgh definitely needs to get a stop here, and they stop him in the backfield. And I think LA is just going to go for the field goal at this point. It should bring them up 24-7. With 18 seconds left in the first half, we're now in the 3rd quarter. LA will kick off to Pittsburgh. Hopefully Pittsburgh finds something in the second half. They only have 66 yards of total offense against 318 for LA. Lackey busts outside. He's got a good run going before he's brought down by Kraus. Has a good run of 22 yards. Hand off to him again, but this time he is knocked out in the backfield for 1 yard. Throw, they find the tight end in Haynes for 9 yards. You got to think that they want to try to get Haynes more and more into this game. London gets a good, decent rush for 8 yards. They have Lackey back in the game, but he's stopped pretty fast. Drop back pass, incompletion. Pierce is he's having a nightmare of a game. He normally is a much better quarterback than this. Wide open this time to Tolliver, but he can't break away from Christmas, who chases him down after a 431-yard gain. But it gets Pittsburgh in the red zone, and hopefully they can make something happen. But Rhodes breaks up that pass to Deal. Throwing again. Not sure why you're throwing in this case, but Tolliver and Pittsburgh scores. This time it's Flores as Pierce finds him in the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown pass. Clark kicks the ball. It's good. It's now 24-14 in the 3rd quarter. This one goes to the back of the end zone. So the defense has to come uphill and get a stop. And they've had a lot of issues today with that. Just tons of time. Lee catches the ball for 5 yards. One of the guards for Richard Pearson goes down for LA. Not sure that's going to matter much. And then Robertson gets a 6 yard gain. Michael Perry, who is one of the better defensive ends for Pittsburgh, is out. Another good pass, another good catch to Kurt Davis for 15 yards. LA's moving the ball again. Drops back. He's got lots of time yet again. Finds Trevino. Burke brings him down for an 8 yard gain. That brings up 2nd and 1. And this looks like it's a jet sweep. So good run there for 6 yards by Lee. He throws the ball away as there was an edge blitz to avoid the sack, which will bring up 2nd and 10. Fable catches the ball before he's brought down by Lions for 16 yards, another LA first down. And Caldwell runs the ball but gets tripped up after a short gain. Another jet sweep, but this time it's read by Bauman. And I'm not going to talk about that penalty. That was fucking bullshit, but we'll leave that alone. Goldman, great pass to Trevino for 7 yards. Really bad return. This is probably Burke. Pittsburgh is down 31-14. Lackey gets a pretty decent run for 7 yards. He is stopped this time for a loss by Kraus. Good job, Kraus. Drop back, try to throw the ball. It's fumbled. Recovered by Tolliver. I think that's a first down, so 7 yards. Lackey's running the ball again. He gets a pretty decent run for a first down for 11 yards. We have 3:17 left in the third quarter. Scores 31. LA, Pittsburgh 14. 1 yard gain before George brings them down. Pierce is 6 of 15. That one was dropped by Deal, who doesn't drop many, and that one looks like it's incomplete, so Pittsburgh will have to punt again. You really have to call out just how good LA is playing. Caldwell gets stopped for 3 yards. Goldman has been really sharp in this game, so hats off. Fable catches the ball. Helms tackles him after 21 yards. Yet another completion. This time they find Caldwell on a long pass for 27 yards. Corey Hubbard goes out of the game for Pittsburgh. That's going to hurt a bit. That one is thrown incomplete. So bring up 2nd and 10 with 24 seconds left. Tackled by Doherty for a loss. That'll bring up 3rd and 11 with 1 second left in the third quarter. And it's a sack by Lions. I mean, theoretically, Pittsburgh can get back in this, but with Pierce playing the way he is right now, I don't see it. I think Pittsburgh's just trying to play to make this competitive at this point. So we'll see what Pittsburgh does on offense. They hand it to Lackey, who gets dropped at the line of scrimmage by Doherty. We're going to throw the ball. This time it is caught by Long for 3 yards, which will bring up 3rd and 7. Picked off. Good interception by Tyler Hildreth, who picks it off over Kobe Tolliver. A 1 yard run by Robertson gets brought down. Lots of time again. Good catch by Dominic Lee. That's a first down. Robert Faber was injured on the play. Pittsburgh gets in and gets another sack. This time it's Seth Button. Which will bring up 2nd and 17. Good run by Colwell, who gets 4 yards. Lots of time. And incompletion. See if they settle for the field goal. Decent amount of time left, but it's good. It's 34-14, 20-point lead. Pittsburgh really needs to get something going here, but with Pierce just playing really badly, I don't see this one. Lackey gets 3 yards. He's had a decent game. Lackey runs the ball again. Just really no sense of urgency from Pittsburgh. They get some help because it was Christmas, and yep, London gets a decent run this time for 7 yards. See if Lackey gets a run for 2 yards. Throw the ball. Pierce manages to complete this one. This time he finds Flores. He's got time. It's one of the few times he's had, and he overthrows Deal. Pierce hasn't had much time to throw the ball, but 8 of 21 for 98 yards. They're going to go for it on 4th and 8. They complete it this time, finding Haynes. There's 5 minutes left. I mean, this is... If they run the ball, he'll... I mean, at this point, Pittsburgh needs to be throwing the ball on every down. And it's incomplete again. Pierce has just had essentially a horrible game. The penalties haven't helped either. So not quite sure how this one should go down, but kudos to LA's defense. Yet another pick off as he throws his 2nd interception of the game. So 442 yards to 219. Goldman has just been phenomenal in this game, so hats off to Goldman. It'll be 34-14, 3:14 left. We'll see if LA picks up another one. The Pittsburgh defense hasn't been horrible. They haven't been great, but you can't have 8 penalties for 75 yards and then also throw 2 interceptions in the game and expect there to be anything else. This will be the last game for Pierce. He's gonna be let go after this game. Just don't know what to say about this. So a little bit of disappointment because again, Pittsburgh is my team, but I can't say enough about the game plan Barry had. He really, really did a great job. So 5-yard gain to Flores, great job. Just Barry with your game planning. You definitely deserve to win this one. Don't know what else to say. Penalty, neutral zone infraction. Gets Pittsburgh a first down. They get an opening. He finally finds Steele for a decent gain for 16 yards. See if they can at least make it somewhat respectable near the end. 5-yard gain for Lackey. And open with Tolliver, and he misses him again. East had a hand on it, so good job. Tries to find Deal, but misses. just as we said in the game, I feel like Lackey did a pretty good job, as did London, of opening up the game. They get the ball back and they are in victory formation. They'll kneel it. I don't think Pittsburgh can stop the clock anymore. So LA will win their first championship, 34 to 14. Really good job by Barry and the LA Rams in just shutting down the Steelers. I mean, it was 24 to 7 at the end of the first half. The second half was a little bit slower, but still all Rams. You look at this 22 first downs to 12. You have to hand it in that first drive. You kind of got an idea that something special was happening with LA. They went for it on fourth down, converted, and then of course scored. Definitely outgained the Steelers. 108 yards. Not a great running game for Los Angeles, but that passing game was just spot on today. So just great job. And of course, Pittsburgh's passing game was just abysmal. Penalties, definitely a big difference between the two teams. LA played a very disciplined game. Pittsburgh played a very wild game. The two interceptions definitely hurt Pittsburgh. Time of possession was all LA. Can't say enough about Goldman. He definitely deserved this. So great job. Colwell had a couple big plays but got stopped. Robertson definitely was the better of the two. Trevino was just amazing throughout the game. So was Lee. Fable probably would have been a lot higher had he not got hurt. And then on the Pittsburgh side of the ball, Lackey, not one of his better games, but you had the feeling that maybe he could have done better if Pierce was able to do better than 37%. This will be Pierce's last game. I'm going to cut him after this game just because he hasn't exactly had a great career with Pittsburgh. He has, but this is one of those where I'm probably done with him. On the defense side, Kraus, 4 tackles for loss. That's a big play inside of this. And then, of course, one. Not many sacks for LA, but they did get pressure on uh, Pierce a lot. So you can see 6 hurries. That's pretty good. 2 hurries, 4 hurries, 1 hurry. So they were putting pressure on him even though they didn't get sacks. Some good pass defenses. Rhodes kind of hurts me a little bit because he's from Florida State, but had a great game. 1 interception, 3 pass defenses. Same thing with Hildreth. Hildreth's one was big because it shut down while Pittsburgh was driving. On the Pittsburgh side of the ball, some pretty good plays from Doherty and Lyon, who were making most of the tackles. Button had a really good game with 2 sacks. Stein had an interception, but largely the pass defense just wasn't there for them today, and that goes a lot in part to LA. So, gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Kudos to uh, Barry, great season, dude. Great championship game. You definitely deserve it. And it's great to see LA finally win one. So uh, that will be it for tonight. I will do some Sims at a later point where I talk about the recap. But if you're interested in joining this league, definitely let me know. Buffalo's a good team. New York Giants are a good team. Jacksonville's a good team. There's quite a few really good teams here. Coaching community is a really good one. And I apologize for any frustration that may have shown in the video. Just bear in mind, Pittsburgh is my team, not only in this league, but in real life. So a little bit of that frustration bled in, especially on the one penalty with the taunting. That one would just trigger me in general because I hate taunting. It's so anti-me. If it was anybody but Burke, I'd probably cut him. But at the end of the day, don't want to take away from the tremendous season that Los Angeles had. Also, great job, Visible Witness, Peter, for making the conference championships, and then Stewart, Superman 66, and Prince, DWK, Bio Eagle. I don't think I missed anyone. For the playoffs, you all had a tremendous season. Great job. To Kevin, keep with the rebuilding, man. You definitely have a lot of work ahead of you with the Jets, but I think you're starting to turn those corners. And for the rest of you, like Templar and Udo in the NFC East, can't wait to see what you do next year and how you turn that around. But that will be it for now. Next sim will be awards. If we look at kind of who the people would be, though, it's going to be Johnson will be one of them. Probably Goldman, um, Lackey maybe one of them. But I think it's really going to come down to um, it'll be between Witten, Bagel, and Johnson. I don't think there was any receivers that were off charts. Bittner may be up there, but I may not put Bittner in the voting just to make sure that he doesn't pour against Johnson. But as you can see, some really good performances throughout the year. So that's it for now. If you're interested in League, the link will be in the title. Hope you have a great night, and thank you for bearing with me.